Welcome back to another episode of Psycosmos, specifically another episode in our Secrets of the Universe series. This video is going to be all about the first principle of Hermeticism, which is the concept of mentalism. Make sure if you enjoy this video, you share it with your friends, family, and loved ones, and make sure you comment, subscribe, and like the video as well. Make sure you stay tuned for more Secrets of the Universe videos so you can master yourself, become the best person that you can be, and spread love and wisdom all throughout the world. So, as we touched in the last episode, Hermeticism was a religious movement that started around 70 AD that could be one of the main factors that led into modern Christianity. And that's just a theory, but it's not a bad theory in all respects. If you actually research a lot of the concepts, you'll find that it makes sense. The first principle of Hermeticism out of the 7, and of course 7 is a very important number. We have 7 days of the week, we have 7 wandering planets, which they're named after the 7 days of the week. The 7 principles of Hermeticism are important because they relate to each individual, and if you think about it from a high level, they make sense for your own self-mastery and your own development. And this is what I mean. Principle number 1 in Hermeticism is the concept or the principle of mentalism. What this means is that everything is mental. Everything is within the mind. I remember seeing a TED Talk about how our brain hallucinates our reality for us. How everything doesn't necessarily look the way that it actually does. It's just an interpretation from light going into our eyes and our brain registering it in that sense. However, it goes a little bit deeper than just the physical aspect of it. It's also the mental aspect of it as well. Take, for example, if you were to be stuck in traffic. You could sit there, you could be very angry, you could be visceral about it, you could be smashing on your horn, and you could be screaming, you could be flipping the guy off in front of you, you could do all those things. Or you could choose to be positive about it and say, well, you know, I do have this alone time with myself, or maybe you'll have your kids in the car, or maybe it'll be with your wife, and you'll be able to have a conversation. You'll be able to look at the scenery around you. When it comes to mentalism, it's all about self-control and willpower. You know, what do you really want to get out of life? One of the most important concepts is peace of mind, and the only way that you can really get that is by searching within yourself and understanding yourself enough to be at peace with yourself constantly. It's kind of a human struggle because a lot of the time we might want something, you know, actually most of the time we do want stuff. We can be pretty materialistic, we can be pretty petty and selfish, we can be vain, and we can be angry and wrathful, we can be lustful, we can, you know, 7 deadly sins, yada yada. We're not perfect human beings. However, the only way to overcome all of those negative qualities is through yourself. You're not going to be able to look externally for those concepts. You're only going to be able to search within to find true happiness, true self-motivation, true insight, true wisdom, and true love. But it's a totally true concept. If you can't love yourself, how are you expected to love anybody else? It's a reality of the situation. So basically, mentalism is the concept that the all is mind and the universe is mental. A lot of religious figures on the face of the planet will tell you that God is a conscious being. And regardless of all of that, you know, I'm not here to debunk or debate that. The concept is still the same. Your mind is the ruler of yourself and your life. From thought comes creation, okay? If you want to go to a nice restaurant to get something to eat, you think about it first. Anything that you do, 99% of the time, you think about it first, unless you're first thrust into it and then you are thinking while you're doing it. It's kind of the way that the world works. You don't just do stuff without thinking about it. Everything first starts as a thought. Every company, every philosophical idea, every religious movement, everything starts as a thought first. So the universe essentially is mental. And when you think about it, if you believe that energy exists all throughout the cosmos and all throughout the universe, energy exists in your mind. It's the way that your mind communicates. It's through energy. It's through energetic vibrations and electricity. And it's those types of concepts that kind of correlate with the idea that everything is mental. Everything is all about perspective. Empathy is one of the most important concepts of humanity. Empathy, the idea that you can go through something and I can understand you going through that thing. That will connect us because I will understand how you feel. I can't understand the way you think, but I can understand how you feel. And if I empathize with you and you empathize with me, then we're friends. And that's basically how a lot of friendships start. It's through empathy. A lot of personal relationships start through empathy. And that's kind of the beauty of life. A lot of it is all mentality. And the issue that we have is that there are so many attacks on people's mentality today, because that's what makes you weak as a person. If you want to be the strong person that you can be, if you want to be the best person that you can be, and I don't mean strong as in strong, I mean strong as in like you want to be the person that you really want to be in life, you have to understand that concept of mentality and mentalism and overcome all the negative aspects of yourself. You have to be self-aware. Self-awareness is key. You have to understand what you're doing at all times and understand that things are okay. You are where you are just because it's where you are. And you can get somewhere better only if you think about it and then make it real. Okay? It's kind of a duality as well, because you have to think about it and then you have to physically do it. So again, using the restaurant analogy, I'm hungry. My body tells me I'm hungry. I think I want to go to a restaurant. And then you know what I can do? I can stand up, I can walk out the door, and I can go drive to a restaurant. It's that simple. But it's almost like an overlooked concept. That example can bleed across so many different other types of examples. You can make whatever you want out of your life. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. And that essentially is the principle of mentalism. And with that, we'll close. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment and subscribe, like the video. Make sure you share this video around with your friends and family, especially people who need some self-motivation and some self-insight. You can always do the things that you want to do in life, but only if you really give it your hardest effort and you try your best. Just try to overcome the obstacles as best as you can. Try to be empathetic with yourself, understand yourself, and love yourself. And remember, never give up. Thank you for watching.